If you are a green card holder, you should be aware, if you're planning to travel overseas, that there are several situations where CBP can treat you as seeking admission instead of returning to the US on your green card when your trip is over. I'm going to talk about these situations in separate videos. Hi, I'm Regina Cocco, and I'm an immigration attorney and a former visa officer. So, the first situation for green card holders to know about is extended absences. If you have a green card and you stay outside the US for a continuous period of more than 180 days, or which is about 6 months, CBP can treat you as seeking admission. The consequence of this means that CBP treats you as a new applicant for admission at the border, and they can turn you away, not letting you into the US despite the fact that you may have an unexpired green card. CBP can make the determination that you've abandoned your green card status by spending time outside the US. It also means that you become subject to grounds of inadmissibility at the border. Now, practically speaking, CBP usually doesn't treat green card holders as having abandoned their status until they've been away for 1 year. That's because the law makes it easier for them at 1 year. At 1 year, there is a legal presumption that you've abandoned your status. So the presumption can be overcome with evidence, but it's a difficult position to be in. At the border after a long trip, you would have to be presenting evidence to CBP that you didn't abandon your status despite being outside of the US for a year, and that can be a tough thing to do. So, if you plan to be outside the US for more than 1 year, or you think there's a good chance that could happen, I would advise you to speak to an attorney and think about filing for a reentry permit before you leave. The reentry permit will basically take the length of time that you're outside of the US out of the equation for up to 2 years. So you need to both file for the permit and then stay in the US long enough to complete the biometrics for the application before you leave the US. But it's a step worth taking to protect your green card status. It's, in my opinion, worth the wait and a little bit of planning that it takes. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, there are more situations where green card holders can be treated as seeking admission than just length of absence from the US, and I'll get to those in the next videos. If you have questions or seek immigration assistance, please visit my website at coccolaw.com. Thank you.